right here. Can y'all please go? Where the off with him?
I didn't get a burger, and I told the manager off for yelling at the girl for doing her job.
You don't need to go to jail over this.
Exactly.
Okay, so
That's what
calm
I'm
down.
saying. Like over a sandwich.
You can't touch my. You have to have a search warrant to search my bird. What are you doing?
Karens are often typecast as angry, entitled, and sometimes racist middle-class white women. So today, we dispel those stereotypes. We're about to see that being a Karen transcends social status, skin color, and even gender. The part about being angry and entitled is true though. Karens are used to getting what they want, especially when it comes to their food. So when a Karen is hangry and her wishes are denied, there's usually hell to pay. Her choice of weapon can be anything, from nasty words, baseball bats, or even a milkshake. Some of them even run over people, so you never know what's coming your way. Get ready for a world of trouble as we enter the crazy world of restaurant Karens. In August 2022, officers responded to a call from a local restaurant reporting a woman who threatened the employees with a milkshake. Sounds ridiculous, right? I know a milkshake to the face might end up being delicious more than dangerous, but a threat's still a threat, so the officers responded swiftly.
Where's which way did she go?
She's leaving green, but yeah, we need her trespass.
Okay, where'd she go? Hey! Ma'am! Ma'am! I know you hear me. Get off the phone. Hey! Come here.
So this is off to an interesting start. After playing hard to get and attempting to walk away from the cops, the woman tries to play it cool and spins her own story. Allegedly, she was just trying to protect an employee from an angry manager, who then got mad and called the cops. She doesn't mention threatening anyone with anything. Then she tries to leave again.
So I don't have to stop at you.
Okay, ma'am, I have to get your information because you're getting trespassed in here, okay?
As if it was scripted, that milkshake splatters on the concrete in dramatic fashion. It reminded me of something you might see in an Alfred Hitchcock movie. It was like the descent of the milkshake mirrored our impending downfall of the villain of our story. And by downfall, I mean that literally, because the officers had to tackle the woman to get her down to the ground so they could get her in handcuffs.
Stop resisting.
I'm not doing nothing wrong. I came to get a burger.
Ma'am, stop.
Stop resisting.
Then tell me why I'm getting arrested.
You're getting detained.
My glasses.
So this is
I can't. I'm flashing my glasses.
We're gonna sit you up.
You're really gonna put me in jail?
All right. Ma'am, sit in the car.
Can I clean my face? I have dirt in my mouth.
We'll clean it up in a minute. You need to sit down in the unit.
Karens will be Karens, and this one is no different from the rest. She's completely ignoring everything the officers were telling her. For a Karen, they don't matter. No one else matters. A Karen is the center of her own universe, and everything else just revolves around her.
Bleeding from my face. I have a road rash all over my face.
Okay, yes, ma'am, you do have little cuts to your chin, all right? We have medical attention on the way. They're gonna check up on you, okay?
I want you guys' information as well.
Okay. It'll be
And I want to file a lawsuit for this. I didn't get a burger, and I told the manager off for yelling at the girl for doing her job.
The woman was tackled, put in handcuffs, and placed in a police car. She still had a chance to get out of this easily if she could just shut up and listen. But for a hardened Karen like this, that's not an easy thing to do. Since she was being trespassed, the officer needed her information to enforce that trespass. Refusing to do so is considered concealing information, which is an offense. After some negotiations, she finally cracked and gave them what they needed. Looks like she doesn't really like cops that much.
If you would have just gave me your name.
I don't have to go legally. With my amendments, I do not have to give anybody my name for any reason.
Okay.
And I don't feel comfortable because of what happened to me by cops before in my past.
The officers take her out one more time to adjust her handcuffs. At that point, they inform her that she's no longer detained. In fact, she was now being arrested.
So you're arresting me.
You are now placed under arrest, yes.
Why?
For concealing your identity and resisting arrest.
That's not concealing identity. No, I didn't. Don't we have an amendment that we don't have to tell who we are to people?
Before we go into the restaurant and hear their side of the story, let's hear the Karen side first. She still sticks to her story and claims she was just protecting an employee from the angry manager. If all Karens were that nice, the world would be a much better place.
Stay right there. I'm just gonna give you some water, okay?
Yeah. Okay. No, I'm not. I came over here to get a burger, and what is it called? The manager?
Yes, ma'am.
She started yelling at the girl for helping me because she wasn't at the register.
So first, Randy needs medical assistance, but then she doesn't. Also, her story doesn't make any sense, and the cops probably feel the same way. One of them goes inside the restaurant to interview the employees, and I'm eager to hear what they have to say.
Hello. Did you guys witness?
Yeah. It was us.
Okay. All right. I just gotta get your info real quick.
What happened? She started getting
I'm sorry, we only beef fried. And she's like, this is ridiculous, blah, blah, blah. And then she's like, I want corporate's number and your boss's number.
Now that's the Karen we expected to hear about. A lot of the time, people don't know how to deal with Karens because they're so out of touch with reality. So I'm glad to hear that this employee wasn't a pushover. She stood her ground and wasn't intimidated by the angry customer. She fought back.
I was like, well, do it. Well, do it. And then she walked off and I walked off. And then she came back and she's like, I need your name. And
did she ever leave the building and come back? Or she just like walked away?
No,
and
she's just in here talking.
Okay. Did she ever order food?
Yeah, she ordered food, but we refunded her the order.
Okay.
We don't want to serve her.
I got you. Do you guys just want her trespassed or?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Whenever we come to respond to a call for service in a business, once you trespass, meaning that they have the right to refuse service to whoever they
She
want.
didn't refuse service to me till just 2 seconds before the officers walked in. I got my money
when she
and
called
I
us?
left.
Okay.
Now we have the whole picture. Meanwhile, our Karen is back in the conundrum she had earlier. She's looking for a way out by playing the victim and saying she was hurt by the cops. But when she realizes that going to the hospital would prolong her being in custody, she changes her story and no longer wishes to go to the doctor.
Did he throw you on the ground or did they push you
They
to the
shoved
ground?
me down to the ground and made me eat dirt. That's why I couldn't breathe a minute
that's what I'm saying.
ago.
So when you say throw, please explain to me because when I throw, this is a throw. So definitely we're going to take you to get some just medical treatment.
I don't want medical treatment. I want to go in and see a judge
please,
and get out.
please just let us do this and then
I just want to get out. I don't want to go to jail. I just want to get out. I'm tired of being in jail.
So the supervising officer was in a bit of a pickle. No actual assault took place at the restaurant, but there was a scuffle with his officers. So now he had to be sure that no boundaries were overstepped. That's why he personally had to ask the employees about what happened and if they saw the altercation between the woman and his officers.
She was saying that at no time, did you guys ever ask her to leave?
I don't believe anybody asked her to leave, but she was waiting for her order, and then I had told her, like, we're not going to serve you, we could refund you your order, and that's it, like, and then she just kept going at us.
Did you guys get to see any portion of interaction that my officers had with her?
I just saw when she took off running, and she was like, just give me my change.
The two employees confirmed that the suspect was aggressive, threatening, and frightening the other customers, and they were willing to repeat everything in court if need be. That was enough for the officers to arrest the suspect, trespasser, and charge her with assault. That sounds strange to some because there wasn't any actual assault. I'll let the sergeant explain it to you.
Why am I being arrested?
So the lady wants to press charges on you for assaulting her. So the assault.
Assault.
So let me explain what assault means. Assault means just your demeanor, just your angriness, the way you were, and you threatened to throw the shake at her, and you had the shake in your hand. You had the means and opportunity, and she actually believed that you're going to throw a shake at her. It's called an assault. It's a simple assault, I'm not telling you it's a prison charge.
Even though there are certain times, this was not one of them. And whether she likes it or not, it makes no difference. The law is the law. In addition to being trespassed from the restaurant, Randy was charged with assault, concealing identity, and refusing or obstructing. About 5 months after the Milkshake incident, police officers in Orland Park, Illinois were dispatched to a restaurant after complaints of a different disorderly customer. This time it wasn't a Karen, but a Darren, or a male Karen who caused all the ruckus. This is the moment Officers Guzzi and Pierce approached the suspect.
All right.
I have a whole kid right
Can you go talk to them? Can you go talk to them, please? So what's going on?
Almost all. Never mind.
What's going on today?
The suspect was a 35-year-old man named Christopher. He seems to be really worked up, agitated, and most likely under the influence. It's easy to imagine Christopher getting into a confrontation with the restaurant staff, or anyone else for that matter. He seems to feel pretty entitled and sure about himself. The funny thing is, his son seems to know that it's time to bail. So, as soon as he sees his aunt, he goes to her.
All right, well, leave me the f alone. You see me with a f***ing 8-year-old.
What's going on?
Walking through Orland Park.
Hey, hold on, sir. Come here.
No, am I detained?
Yes, just talk to me. That's all I'm asking.
Don't want to talk. I don't
That's all
have
I'm asking you to
I
do.
don't have to.
Tell me what they did to wrong you today.
Right.
Like Karens and Darrens usually do, this suspect starts shifting the blame on the cops. Allegedly, they scared his son and made him cry for no reason at all. I didn't think the boy was all that afraid, but nonetheless, this gave the suspect more reason to unleash a verbal attack on the officers.
It's probably because of the way you're screaming.
It's probably because I told you not to do that.
I'm just talking.
Because my son gonna grab for his daddy, boy. What would your kid do?
All I'm doing is talking to you.
What would your kid do? You didn't answer that question.
Using anger as a detection tactic didn't work, of course, because it never really does. It's clear as day that this man has some anger issues, but I don't think that's his main concern at this moment. He surely knows he's going to be arrested, and he doesn't want his son to witness the embarrassing moment.
She did this. Bro, my son is right here. Can y'all please go? Ride the out for him.
What is going on today?
Jennifer! Ride out for him in the car!
What's going on here?
Christopher here is making less and less sense. All he wants to do is yell at the cops and try to control the situation. If it was me and it was justified, I would have arrested him the moment he said he wasn't going to cooperate. That would be it. But I guess these officers were trying to follow everything by the book. So the entire situation dragged on a lot longer than it had to.
Let me step back from y'all.
Thank you.
Because I don't want y'all to feel the alarm, and I don't want to alarm y'all, bro. But at the same time, y'all gotta feel me, bro. I'm a black man and y'all 3 white cops, bro. I don't want my son seeing
Okay,
seeing him, y'all profiling me.
Dude, I don't.
Get the
There's
on.
no profile.
Tell them to come out.
Obviously, he can't stop screaming. Why? Because he's a Darren. It's in their DNA to scream, make a lot of noise, and attack people for no reason. Speaking of reason, let's check in with the restaurant staff and see what they have to say about the whole situation.
Hi, sir.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, you called us about this guy outside?
Yeah.
Okay, are you signing complaints against him?
Yeah.
Because we're talking to him right now. You want to sign complaints against him?
Yeah.
All right, what did he do?
Okay, so the thing, I was sitting here and I was on the phone. I was not talking to him, but like before that, last 45 minutes, he was in the store.
We already learned today that even a threat is enough to get charged with assault. And this threat seemed even more serious than the threat of throwing a milkshake at someone's face. And the manager, he wasn't the only one who was threatened by our Darren.
And you guys witnessed it too? You guys heard him say that? Okay.
You want to fight? You want to fight with us too? But oh, they entered and he came down again like, what are you looking at? they entered in the store.
I'm escalating it because I asked you a simple question. Because I asked you, what's your badge number?
All right,
What's your badge number?
736.
Whoa, this guy is really going nuts on these cops. I just can't see this going down easily for them. Then again, I might be wrong. What do you think? Do you think Christopher will let them arrest him, or will he put up a fight? Remember when he said he would talk to them as soon as his son leaves? Well, his son left, and he's still not showing any signs of calming down.
That's why I just told my sister to leave with my son, bro.
right.
I don't want him to see this bro.
So some dude.
Because I'm finna slap the out on y'all.
Okay. So some
And
dude.
y'all cannot take me to jail. And y'all know that.
Well, it's disorderly conduct.
What? Cause how? Who am I? I'm only talking loud.
Who are you breathing? Whose piece are you breathing? Are you kidding? Look at the way you're acting right now.
Look at the way you acting. Because I asked you a certain questions a lot of times. You ain't tell me until I asked you 50 times.
I like seeing these cops when they're cool as cucumbers. Christopher has spent the better half of this entire situation screaming his lungs out and even using profanities when addressing the officers. Yet none of them seem all that bothered by it. They're just here to do their business. And speaking of business, I think it's time for an arrest.
What did I do wrong? Tell me. Don't get your cute out here talking.
You think I'm cute?
On phone them. Hey, baby.
Like that, man.
Hey, baby. Yeah, you got straight teeth with some good glasses. Hey, beautiful.
All right.
Hey, beautiful. I gotta help with that shit.
All right. Put your hands down. Put your hands behind your back.
Why are y'all doing that?
You're under arrest. Stop. You're under arrest.
Christopher is a strange kind of Darren. We could call him a trolling Darren. You see, I was pretty sure he'd put up a fight, but he doesn't want to fight the cops. He knew he'd get beat. What he chose to do instead was to make their job as difficult as possible. Watch this.
That's over with. Bro. Don't touch me.
Come on.
Bro. Stop! I'm not doing shit, bro. I didn't do no.
Do you want to grab
Right
him?
here, I'm gonna go get the shackles. He's getting in shackles.
Why are you doing this to yourself, man?
I'm finna spit in your face. Get out my face.
It's gonna be a battery. Do it.
Get out my face.
Several officers had to drag Christopher to the squad car. He resisted them every step of the way, so they eventually took him to the ground and placed him in ankle cuffs. But I think it only made it more difficult for them. Then he thought of another way to make their lives miserable.
Let go of my leg.
Stop grabbing my leg. Ah! 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 Ah!
All right, hang on to him out here. Just hang on to him out here.
As much as Christopher's trolling the officers, they try to give it back to him by pulling his hat over his face. It's a small thing, but I think it makes the cops feel good, at least a little bit. Eventually, they decide to put him in a real spit hood, just in case he decides to make good on his threat.
Stop trying to bend me over. That's gay. Let me go, bro. No! You're not gonna do it, bro. I'm calling Scott Skirvin, bro. Bro, why y'all think I'm playing, bro? I should have spit on you, but that's why y'all did that.
Wow, after all that, the officer is still willing to cut him some slack. Props to him for being a bigger man than I probably would have been. But being a troll Darren like he is, he's not about to let common sense prevail anytime soon. And sooner than I manage to finish that sentence, Christopher actually does assault one of the officers. At that point, all bets are off.
Nobody's touching your face.
Not no more! Come here so I can spit on you. Get your
Put him down. Put him down.
Oh, they picked him up all right, but only to throw him inside the van. Christopher the Troll Darren wound up being charged with 3 counts of felony, aggravated battery to an officer, misdemeanor counts of disorderly conduct, resisting, obstructing, and assault. If he'd only listened to the officers, he might have been home that very night. Sometimes, I think I'm being too hard on the suspects. Sometimes it seems that the officers are cutting them some slack in situations where I would have reacted much more harshly. Well, allow me to show you a different type of altercation. In this one, the officer decided to address the situation before it had time to escalate further. Let's see what all the fuss was about.
Hi, did you have a bad day inside?
No, sir. I went through the drive-thru earlier.
Okay.
She refused to take my dollar to give me 30 cents after I paid it for extra cheese.
Okay.
There was a young lady who was very nice, by the way, before I got introduced to this lady in the burgundy.
Okay.
She asked the lady in the burgundy shirt to remake my sandwich. She comes up to the desk, wanting me to pay her another 30 cents. So 49 plus 30 plus 30. For what when I'm not even getting enough pieces of cheese. You only put 1 on here when I already paid the 49 cents for the extra piece of cheese. So now you're charging me 60 cents more. So then she got an attitude because I asked her for a refund and called the police because she didn't want to give me back my money. And I told them I'm in a black truck and I'm waiting.
Did I get that straight? Can this really be about 30 cents worth of cheese? To make it worse, she even got the refund. But instead of taking her money and going someplace else to get her extra cheese, the woman got into an argument. Well, I guess people can be really picky when it comes to their food, even when it's a junk food place like McDonald's.
So she gave me a refund. I'm leaving. She started screaming at me, telling me to have a good day and not to come back here. And I said, I won't.
So you didn't say anything. You was a complete angel. Because I'm getting information you're getting disorderly at the store.
Did.
Okay, all right.
I did.
So here's what's going to happen. You've been made whole, right? You got your money back.
I'm leaving. You pulled up. I didn't want you to have to chase me down.
So here's what we're going to do. They want you trespass. They don't.
Who cares?
Just listen. I know. It doesn't mean anything.
It's a McDonald's.
They don't want
can't
you.
Even
There's
do
one
it
on
right.
every corner.
Customers are right. Thank you.
Okay.
I won't come back.
Does this car come back to you?
No, it does not.
Okay.
Here we go again. The cops need information to know exactly who they're trespassing, and Karen here doesn't want to give it to them, which is concealing information. So we're about to go into the same back and forth as we did with our first Karen today, but this time it's going to end a bit differently than anyone might have guessed.
You have to identify yourself.
So many McDonald's out here.
Because
For what?
We've already explained
She
that to
was
you.
the rude.
Ma'am. Stop. Stop.
Bring yours down.
Stop.
'Cause I'm done.
Stop.
A piece of paper.
That's
For
it.
what? Over a sandwich that she
Criminal-
refused to make.
Are you going to stop and listen? or are
Who's
you
going to go in
holler?
there and make her remake my sandwich?
Stop.
Nobody.
If you don't stop, you're going to end up going to jail. Stop.
Hancock, H-A-N-C-O-C-K, write it down. So
Calm down.
No, because you're not about to act like
No,
that over a sandwich
stop.
she didn't make right.
Stop.
Right off the bat, you must have noticed how many times he told her to stop and calm down. More than once, right? He even told her she was about to go to jail if she kept going on like this. In case you missed it, he's about to tell her again.
You don't need to go to jail over this.
Exactly.
Okay, so
That's
calm
what I'm
down.
saying. Like over a sandwich.
You're making us your enemy. The easiest thing to do is just give us your
For
info.
what?
We
Over
give
a
trust.
sandwich.
We give you a piece of paper
For
and you
what?
don't come
I
back.
don't, no,
then you're free
you
to
told me I'm
leave.
trespassed, so I'm not coming back.
So we have to serve
That's
you
my
with a
free
criminal
will.
trespass notice.
No, you don't.
Yes, by law
No,
we do.
you just want
okay,
to
then we're
because
going to
call.
then we're going to arrest.
No, you're
We're
not.
going to identify.
No, you're
then
not.
identify yourself.
No.
Yes.
For what? Over a sandwich?
Ma'am, stop.
She didn't identify herself.
yourself or we'll have to arrest you. Now stop.
Over a
Yes, over a sandwich. So you're making a bad decision over.
Once a Karen gets going, it's like there's no stopping her. This woman is so entitled and so enraged that she didn't get that extra piece of cheese that she's willing to engage in an altercation with the police. You can see her just getting more and more agitated when it's all about to blow up in her face, with a literal blow to the face.
I'm not giving you nothing. I already said it.
Okay, you're under arrest.
No, I'm not.
Put
No,
your
I'm
hands
not.
behind your back.
No, I'm not.
You are under arrest for failure to identify.
Don't
put your hands.
Okay, my last name is Hancock. I already told you that. I already told you that.
Behind your back.
No, I don't want want to, for real. It's Latika. I'm telling you. Why would you do that? Okay, I'm saying okay.
That's it. Cut back. You're gonna get tased.
Okay.
It was concealed by the camera angle, but Karen's resisting the officer was put to a quick halt by a swift jab to the face. Even though she continued wailing, she at least calmed down, which allowed them to put her in handcuffs. On one hand, it was a very aggressive move. On the other, it appears to have saved the officers the struggle of fighting the suspect every step of the way, like in the previous clip we saw. But does that make it all right?
Can I just please go home now?
No, you're going to jail. Come on.
Please, can I go home?
Come on.
I'm okay. My name is Latika.
Latika, it didn't have to be this way, Latika.
I'm sorry, please.
It didn't have to be this way.
I want to go home. Okay. My mouth.
Yeah.
Do y'all give people stuff?
You got to call an ambulance? Ma'am, it didn't even have to be this way.
I want to go, please.
You're going.
No, man.
You brought it to this.
Sit down till the medic gets here to see you.
I don't want to go home.
You don't have a choice.
You just caused us to use force against you.
No, but you punched me on your own will.
No, it's because you were resisting. You don't have to.
I didn't resist.
Even though we joke around sometimes, we're generally opposed to violence on this channel, especially if it was not justified. In this case, it served a purpose, but that doesn't mean it was called for. I do think the officer jumped the gun on this one, so to speak. I think the two officers were more than equipped to handle this lady without resorting to punching. The saddest thing is that all of this could have been easily avoided.
Man, can I ask you a question? Have you had anything to drink today?
Huh?
Have you had anything to drink today?
I just cracked it open. I spilled half of it in the car.
Because I could smell
No,
when we were talking. It's not me.
Sobriety or whatever.
Sobriety?
Yeah.
It's not on me.
Sobriety, something.
Ma'am, we're going to treat you fair and we're going to treat you honest. You shouldn't have put us in that position.
But can I just...
No, unfortunately, when we have to make a physical arrest and we have to go hands-on, then you got to go to jail.
The officer's technically right when he says that it worked. However, that still doesn't mean it was justified. Pretty soon, the medics arrive, and the officer briefs them on the situation. They want to check her out, perhaps give her some more gauze, and then send her off to jail.
Are you going to cooperate, or do we have to fight you again to get you in the car? I want them to look at your mouth. To do that, we got to open the door. Matter of fact, just stay right there.
Can you come on this side?
No, we'll just come on this side. Okay? Can I put your seatbelt on you? Now, seatbelt's all jacked up now. Stay right there. They're gonna
come over here to be
No,
here.
I don't want to fight with you again.
And nobody's trying to fight with you. You're the one aggressive. You the one punched me in my mouth.
The medics did their evaluation, and Latika was sent to jail. She was charged with concealing information and resisting. However, she wasn't the only one who got burned that day. The officer who punched her was sent on administrative leave. What do you think about this one? Do you think he used excessive force, or was the punch justified? Tiki bars are usually associated with good vibes and chill people. Nobody goes to a tiki bar to start a fight except for Karens. But one Karen decided to ruin it for everyone when she went to one such bar in Inglewood, Florida. When the manager realized she was a nuisance, the woman was asked to leave. Of course, she refused and started yelling at the staff. Left with no choice, the manager called the cops. Let's see how they approach the situation.
Jennifer, out of here and trespass.
You gotta go. Okay, let's go.
What I do?
They don't want your business no more. Let's go.
What I do?
I don't know. They don't
can
want
you tell me?
Y'all can
Come
go
on,
ahead.
go.
Sorry.
Okay, but can you tell me?
I will gladly talk to you once you're off the property.
Okay, my car's this way.
Okay.
Well, we can already see that this cop is not going to take any BS from this Karen. What she said about her son just shows how entitled she is. She thinks the way she chooses to address her son should apply to everyone else in this world, including the police. She's so delusional that she even thinks the people in the bar are on her side. When the cop starts roughing her up, she asks someone to film it, thinking that she's somehow being wronged. Instead, the crowd starts cheering the cop as he escorts her out.
Don't grab me. Let's go. Don't grab me. Somebody film this. What the Why are you
Put your hands down. You're under arrest. You're under arrest.
For what? What did I do? What did I do? Tell me what I did. I'm asking you what I did.
You're done.
You can't arrest me.
You're too late now. You're already under arrest. Let's go.
Karens who get in trouble with the law usually resist being arrested. Then, when they're in handcuffs, they start trying to tell the cops what they're allowed to do or not allowed to do. It never really works, but it doesn't stop them from trying. Bossing people around is the trademark of a true Karen, and this woman is exactly that. She just can't seem to realize that her rant doesn't help her situation at all. It only makes it worse.
You can't touch my You have to have a search warrant to search my bird. What are you doing? What are you doing? You you're illegally searching. Do not put me in the back of this vehicle. What are you arresting me for? What are you arresting me for? Tell me, what are you arresting me for? What did I do?
I just love how that officer slammed the door on her. Pay attention to that, because it's not going to be the last time he does it. He obviously realized that there was no shutting this woman up. Instead of wasting time and energy trying to reason with an unreasonable person, he just decided to make her go away. But then a backup officer arrives, and while the first one gets some info from the manager, the new guy gets sucked into a debate with the loudmouth Karen.
Got her? Yeah, she's inside.
Marine 10, clear traffic.
So?
She cuffed?
Oh, yeah. I gotta get his information real quick, if you don't mind.
No, you're good.
So, she
patted down stuff?
No, she wanted to fight and carry on, so she's acting.
What I do? What did he say I did? Because literally I'm under arrest and in handcuffs because I didn't shut my mouth.
Judging by how she berated a police officer, it's kind of difficult to imagine that she didn't yell at the bar staff as well. At least we now know what the issue was in the first place. Asking for music will be added to our list of the worst reasons to be arrested. We'll put it right next to asking for extra cheese and threatening someone with a milkshake. The second officer tries to explain the situation to the woman, but she's unable to understand it because apparently she has money.
Okay, the restaurant people can't arrest you, but they can ask you to leave their property, and that time you have to.
And that's a arrestable offense. If I've paid a $300 bill plus a $100 tip to the bartender, it's an arrestable offense because I asked to play music.
Your disorderly conduct is an arrestable
it wasn't disorderly
And the alcohol that I'm smelling coming from your person.
The cop who arrested her comes back. He wants to identify the suspect, but what ends up happening is they just pick up arguing where they left off. But notice how she keeps going back to her claim that she was the victim in this whole situation.
You want to give me your ID and stuff now?
I want to ask you.
Okay, hold on. Okay, I'll explain to you again, okay? So, I asked you to leave, and you said no. I said, you want to talk? I said, we will talk to you once you're off the property. Management wanted you gone because you were interrupting business.
And I asked you to talk to me.
Stop. I'm talking, you listen.
Oh, because what I have to say
talk,
doesn't
you
matter.
listen.
Wham! That's the second time he slams the door on her. I don't know why, but after listening to her screeching voice for a while, the cop slamming that door makes me feel good. It's as if my eardrums received vindication at last. The officer goes through her stuff and finds her ID. After a while, the other cop decides to try and reason with the suspect again, but she just does the same thing over and over again, playing the victim and acting like she still doesn't get why she's being arrested.
This is awful. I didn't even do anything.
You did. You failed to leave the property after being told and warned. And then again, you failed to leave the property after...
I left over $400 at this property. What did I do?
Listen to me. If you don't want to listen, I can't tell you. But you want to continue to yell and scream at me, okay?
Ah, tranquility. Is it just me, or is her voice annoying you guys as well? Luckily, the second cop decided to use the same tactic as the first one. He then offers to loosen her handcuffs if she calms down. Realizing that she still doesn't understand what happened, the officer tries to dumb it down even further.
Yes, I asked him why what I was doing was wrong. Because literally, I asked why they weren't playing live music at the bar because the music wasn't streaming there.
I can even break it down even simpler than this. If that property owner wants to stand there and every third person that walks past him, he wants to trespass from his property, he doesn't have to have any reason.
When she realized that the Department of Child Services could be involved, suddenly she remembered that she did have a friend who could come and pick her son up. The officer called her friend and let her speak on the phone, but then another problem popped up. The school wasn't answering. The officer then offered to go to the school and inform them that a friend was picking her son up. The only problem was it was a private school.
So they're not answering, but I'll run over there and let them know, okay?
Wait, do you understand that my kid is at a private school?
Okay.
I'm about to go tell them that I've been arrested and my son has to go into DCFS?
At least she got something right. Most likely, the school would not appreciate one of their students having an alcoholic mom who gets arrested for being a Karen. I have to say, this officer is way more forgiving than most would be in his place. More than he wanted to help her, he probably cared about her son's welfare and didn't want him to be traumatized. At least now, she was calm enough to start cooperating with the officers. But it wasn't long until her obnoxious, entitled mentality came back to the surface once again.
I don't understand. I live less than 2 blocks from here. I live in a $1.3 million house. Like, I don't understand.
Joanna, are these your keys that you want to release to Francis?
Yes.
Okay.
So according to Joanna, poor homeless people and addicts deserve to get arrested for breaking the law, but rich people do not. Well, at least in theory, the law is the same for everyone. So no matter where you live, or how many millions your husband has, You are going to end up in jail if you act like Joanna here. And if you doubt she's as dumb as I say she is, listen to this.
Meanwhile, Dustin, Eric, Katrina, what the ever the blonde name girl's name is, whatever the skinny girl with the glasses are, walking all over our island.
And since I literally can't stand the sound of Joanna's voice anymore, let's hop on over to Illinois again, but this time in the village of Niles. There, a drunken man got hungry and decided to get something to eat. To his surprise, the restaurant turned out to be cash only. It seems he didn't have any cash because he got so enraged he tried to smash the restaurant window. This is the moment a female officer arrives at the scene of the crime and sees her colleagues already talking to the suspect. So she goes over to the diner.
Hi, what happened?
We are paying the system right now, so we told the guy we aren't accepting cash right now.
Okay.
So he was saying bad words, on the speaker, and then he was hitting the window.
So
with
he
a
was
bat.
in the drive-through?
Yes.
He was hitting the window of the drive-through window with a bat?
On the side.
Yeah. Did it cause any damage?
No.
Who was driving at the drive-through?
Imagine being so hangry that you feel the urge to smash a restaurant window for not accepting credit cards. I get easily agitated when I'm hungry as well, but we're talking some next level hunger right there. I'm also surprised that he couldn't break the window. My guess is that he was way too drunk to do it. The employees at the place decided they didn't want to press charges, but they definitely don't want him back in their restaurant.
They don't want to arrest him, it's okay, but
it's not
what. Make sure maybe he doesn't come back.
So you want him trespass?
Yeah, but
we're
like
gonna do the drinking investigation.
Yes, please. Make sure he's not coming back. Maybe that's the only thing.
So you want him trespass, but you don't want him arrested for the damage to property.
No, it's nothing.
Or for disorderly.
No, he just put the the fingerprints.
Do you want to give him some tickets?
After that, the female officer also interviewed the male worker. He confirmed everything the lady said and even detailed the racial slurs the suspect used when addressing the employees. He also explained what the actual assault looked like, and I'm sure it wasn't a pleasant thing to experience.
And then he pulled around front and got out with a bat. And
it was an actual bat?
Yeah, it was a baseball.
You saw a baseball bat in his hand? A wooden bat? Do you know what he did with the bat?
From what I know, that's stereotype threats. He's in here, he's threatening us.
For sure.
He's beating on the window, that's a felony. And you know, I'm scared.
Yeah, I gotcha. They called the police on you.
I know.
Were you banging on the window with a baseball bat or something?
No.
The officers found the suspect in the parking lot and started talking to him. Even though he denied banging on the window, he seemed to be pretty drunk since he's sitting in the driver's seat of a running car. That's a DUI right there. However, I am curious to see how this plays out and if they get him for the alleged assault as well.
All right.
So what are we gonna do?
I don't know. You tell me. Where were you coming from tonight?
I was coming from home to I was trying to get a double Mac.
Yeah, but they don't take cash.
No, they said they only take cash.
They're
updating the system right now, so So are you gonna let me go? Or
I don't know. I got to see what the deal is with the McDonald's.
Hearing the story of the baseball bat assault, I was expecting someone really angry and ferocious, but this guy is anything but, and I like the way this is going. The cops are relaxed, chatty, joking around. The suspect doesn't seem to be agitated. Maybe we end up having a nice calm arrest without much fuss. Also, the victims were pretty sure it was a wooden baseball bat. The golf clubs aren't wooden, and they're too thin to be mistaken for a bat, so I'm also curious to know who's lying. So far, the suspect admitted to having a few beers, but claims he doesn't have any weapons.
What kind of beers did you drink?
Miller Lite and a Bud Light.
Okay. All right. You want to come out of the car? Is it in park? I'm just going to pat you down and make sure you got no weapons. Just leave your credit card in there. I'm just waiting to see what McDonald's is going on. Did you think you broke a window or something? Where's the golf club? Did you hit the window with the golf club? Is that
Absolutely not.
Okay, did you just hit it with your fist or something?
I didn't hit anything.
Okay.
The suspect looks pretty calm for someone who allegedly had a violent outburst, but maybe he had time to calm down before the cops arrived. Even though he clearly stated that he didn't hit any window with a bat, the cop kept asking, probably waiting for him to slip up and say something incriminating. The guy is adamant that he didn't do anything wrong except get angry and use racial slurs.
That is all.
All right. They just said you hit the window with the baseball bat.
I did.
Okay. I gotcha.
All right, bro, we got to make sure you're good to drive.
How long ago did we drink? 2 hours ago.
Okay.
Apart from a couple of beers and severe arthritis, the suspect claims that he's good to go. He did mention getting a prior arrest for theft, but that doesn't really matter in this case. The officer administers the follow my finger test and attempts to administer the walk the line test. But this one's not going so well for the suspect.
Come on, you guys are killing me.
Okay, so you want to do the test? Can I explain it?
Listen, you're either gonna arrest me for DUI right now, or you're gonna let me go.
Okay.
Those are the two options.
Okay.
Which one am I going for?
You tell me. What do you want to do?
Let me go home.
Okay.
The suspect is in a hurry to leave, and he keeps using racial slurs. Mind you, he refused to do a breathalyzer test, which is pretty telling of the state he's in. Still, the officers try to be diligent and give the suspect every chance to prove he's not inebriated. But I think we all know how this is going to end, and so do the cops, and so does the suspect. That's probably why he's anxious to get this over with.
1, 2, 3, all the way to 9. I demonstrated 3. Oh, no, do not start yet. I didn't say start. Go back. Go back.
Let's get this.
You're not
over
listening.
with. Come on, guys.
Great. Put your foot on the line.
I'm following directions. Let me
Listen.
get the out of here.
Do you want to do it or not?
As the officer starts explaining the test one more time, the guy just decides to give up. The cops give him one more chance to do the breathalyzer test. When the suspect refuses, he's placed under arrest for DUI. As the cuffs click around his wrist, he has a change of heart, but it's too late for that now. He's transported to jail and booked for DUI. It's crazy that there's no surveillance video showing the alleged assault, but why would staff lie about it? It makes no sense. When someone thinks about law students at a Taylor Swift concert, the furthest thing from their minds would be bar brawls and car crashes, right? Most people would associate that kind of reckless behavior with rock concerts and biker bars. Yet the night of April 14th, 2023 was apparently full of surprises for the people in this video. Seemingly, a teeny tiny little law student started wreaking havoc in a restaurant and then crashed her car into a pole in the parking lot.
Hello? That's where you can breathalyze me. I'm fine, Brad.
So I'm Officer Snipes. The police department.
Absolutely.
And this, am I over here?
Yeah.
So, I'm a DUI investigator. You got called to the scene because the officer spoke to you.
Absolutely.
Investigating the crash. He's seeing certain indicators of impairment that he wanted me to have come and check you out.
Wow, this is off to a serious start, probably because according to witnesses, this young woman made a real mess. She assaulted several people, then got in the car drunk and drove around the parking lot, hitting multiple vehicles before colliding with the pole. People from the restaurant attempted to stop her from getting in the car, but apparently she assaulted them as well. After she's read her rights, she refuses to answer anything without a lawyer.
I'll be very cooperative.
All right, so one of the first things you said when I came up to talk to you was I can breathalyze you and everything else. Would you be willing to perform some field sobriety exercises?
I'd feel comfortable doing anything besides the actual field sobriety test.
Well, the only time I'll do anything other than field sobriety is that.
Like the physical blowing?
If you get arrested.
My first impression of the girl is that she really doesn't look like someone who's so drunk that she'd go around assaulting people and crashing cars. But apparently, her friends were at the Taylor Swift concert and she wasn't. So maybe she's just spoiled and entitled and took her frustration out on innocent people. While the officer administers the eye test, the walk and turn test, and the one-legged stand test, let's see what other witnesses say what happened.
I stepped out in a hurried motion. This young lady I guess, crashed into the pole and then came back.
I'm like petrified right now.
Who beat up your chef?
That girl. They were trying to keep her from leaving because. Okay, let me calm down for a second. Hold on one second.
So there's someone in there with a cut to their head?
And she beat up the sous chef.
Okay, so.
That's the same girl I just told that officer about 10 minutes ago when you were here for that gentleman. I said I kicked a girl out of here. She had a fake ID. She was telling everybody at the bar she's 20 years old. So we checked her ID, and I could peel the top piece of her ID off.
The story's kind of messed up. So let me sum it up for you. The young woman started drinking at the bar. When the employees realized she was underage, they kicked her out. One of the employees got in the car with her to stop her from driving drunk, at which point they crashed into a pole. When the sous chef and another host came out, the young girl assaulted them as well before crashing into other cars in the parking lot.
So a suspect is closer to the Cheesecake Factory up there somewhere.
Yes.
She hits the park Buick.
Yes.
Takes off.
Yep.
She talks to
somewhere around this parking, like where we're kind of at now, somewhere around here. Male stops her, and that's
she runs over his foot.
Yep.
Wow, those are some serious allegations. It's hard to imagine that little girl being so vicious. But hey, we've seen stranger things on this channel. Speaking of her, she should have finished that test by now. Let's see how she did.
Okay, you can stop.
I'm sorry.
That's fine.
I didn't fully understand.
All right, stand right here for me.
Absolutely. Right there.
Yeah, around that spot. Face the car. You just face the car for me. All right, what you can do next is placing your hands behind your back. All right. Placing you under arrest for DUI. Yes, ma'am.
If there's one positive thing about this girl, it's that she's cooperating with the officers. She's not resisting them in any way, so the officer is very patient in explaining what's about to happen. Apparently, since she's being arrested for DUI, she needs to be kept in jail for at least 8 hours, regardless of the outcome of the test.
The charge is what warrants you being in custody for 8 hours. The breath test now is to determine whether or not your license gets suspended because of the charge. Okay.
Totally, Val. I'm not trying to argue with you. I hope you don't think that was ever my case
just...
either. I just want to know my, everything.
All right, have a seat here. I'll go grab your stuff from the car.
Can you please get, I'm sorry, I don't mean to be, overbearing or anything. Just, my purse and everything in there.
Yeah, I'll grab
it has, my vape and everything when I get out.
You can't have your vape with you.
No, I know I can't have that right now.
After the officers got their statements from everyone, they waited for a female colleague to arrive so she could conduct a search on the suspect. I don't think she has anything on her, but you never really know, right?
Yeah, do whatever.
Yeah, I'm just stepping out.
Yeah, do that search. I consent to everything. Okay, how old are you? I'm 18. You're 18? Open up your mouth with your tongue. With your tongue. So I was really scared. You're fine. I just had to search you. No, that's okay. I totally get it. Go ahead and widen your stance. Okay. You can call them when you get to the jail, but I don't know about right now, though.
Yeah, no calls right
now.
Yeah, no phone calls right now.
So go ahead and have a seat. Just gotta check your shoes. I know I already searched you. Is there anything else on you that we might have missed? Because once you get into the jail, if you introduce anything, a pill, a little bit of weed, a razor, a gun, a knife, anything, it's gonna be a felony, okay?
People get drunk and crash all the time, but the weirdest part about this situation was that the young woman insisted she didn't drink at all. The officers disagreed because they could smell the alcohol on her, and the witnesses from the restaurant said they saw her drink. Another surprise was that no one wanted to charge her with assault, not even the guy whose foot she supposedly ran over. Listen to this conversation between the two officers.
I can smell it, but she said she hasn't.
Yeah, I smelled it too when I walked up.
Yeah, so she said she hasn't, so she's insisting that she hasn't been, so in case my nose is playing tricks on me, if it's playing tricks on me, I'll ask for you. Okay.
Well, now I've seen everything. An 18-year-old female law student beating other people and crashing into poles, and cops knowing the lyrics to Taylor Swift songs. I guess since there's no assault charges, the suspect was taken to jail for DUI. Let's hope she eases off on the alcohol and never drives under the influence again. Thanks for joining me on this crazy journey through the world of entitled Karens and the restaurant people who had to endure their wrath. Join me next time when we bring you more body cam videos, and be sure to subscribe so you don't miss a thing.